I'm bouncing up and down on the chair. Hey, Bickies, how's it going? It's Tara. It's the Biscuit Box live Wednesday, every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome. I get this question a lot, and as I work with people over in the Biscuit Factory, and many of the Biscuit Factory members are here this morning, when we work together, a lot of this stuff comes up. And we're doing something that is very, very powerful, actually, after a live stream where we talked to Elle down in Cork, who reminded us of how important it is to have positive affirmations in our life. Now, if you're rolling your eyes going, oh, here we go, woo, 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 with that mindset stuff, and if you're not quite sold on that, we've been working on this as a practice over in the Biscuit Factory membership group on a daily basis, and we're trying to remind each other as well, like, what's your daily affirmation today? And everyone kind of, you don't have to, but everyone kind of comes in and posts in their affirmation. What I'm talking about is where you don't say, I'm going to make a sale today, or I'm going to write that blog post, or I will do that, which is as Elle, and I'll leave the link to that live stream actually in the comments if you want to go back and watch it, where Elle talked about you have to be in the now. You have to tell your brain that you are, I am. And the two kind of affirmation kickoffs for yourself every day should be, I am and I choose. And we're working religiously with that every day over in the factory. And it's really making an impact on everybody's day, and everybody's weeks, on productivity, on hitting the goals that we want to hit on a daily basis. And I think sometimes when we have big goals and we want to do this and this and this, and, you know, like, I want my vision for Biscuit and what I want to do for the creative community is huge. And when I stop and I think about, oh my fucking hell, it's so big, the immediate default reaction is I turn the light on me, going, well, who am I to be doing this? Like, oh, you feel fear, right? And I don't know about you guys, but when you have a big vision, or even any vision at all, like, you know, even I want to get my website up and running, I want to start workshops, whatever it is, how big, how, you know, and big and small, what does that mean? It's all relative to your mind and what you feel. But straight away, when you think about what you want to do, the default and what feeds imposter syndrome is we tend to look at ourselves as the person having that vision, right? So we look internally and we go, well, who am I to be doing this? Like, holy crap, like, you can't do that big thing, Tara. Sure, look at, you're one from Cork, like, doing all this stuff, but like, who are you? And who, like, I don't have a degree in, or a master's or a PhD in building big things. Who the feck am I anyway to be doing this, right? So just to note, I deal with this every single day, right? I deal with it sometimes every hour of every day. And no matter who you are or what you do or how successful you might seem or how, you know, amazing the things that you're doing might come across, it doesn't take away the reality that every single person doing anything in their life, or that have dreams and visions and are trying to make that happen, has that imposter syndrome feeling, has that default that switches the viewpoint from the vision right around to themselves. It's fear, right? And it stops us in our tracks, right? Now, I do a lot of stuff every day, but I also deal with this every single day. And if you think that people don't, they actually do. And if they say they don't, they're lying, because everybody at some point in their week deals with this when they're want to do stuff, right? So that's the first message to you, that you're not alone and it happens to everybody. And I think a lot more to creative minds, because we're so attached to what we do. We're so emotionally connected to what we do. So when we look at what we want to do, that connection is so tight that it is so impossible not to deflect back into looking at us, the instigator, the creator, the person thinking up of this thing. That's an obvious what's the word I'm looking for? Not a reflection. It's oh God, what's that thing? You know when you tap your knee and you get like that. What's that word? Oh God, help me out. Hey Bernice, I'm looking at the comments there. Reflex. Oh, hello. I know begin with R. See, that's when my brain goes off on what's that thing? Okay, so it's an obvious reflex, right? That we go internal to us. So how do you deal with this? Like, a lot of people say, it's normal, just, get over it. It happens to everyone. You have to be resilient. You have to say no imposter syndrome. And yeah, okay, you can do that. But the reality is it hits you whether you like it or not. And I'm a big believer in accepting feelings and nearly making friends with them rather than pushing them away, because they're always going to come back, right? All those self-doubt, that narrative that's in your ear, they're going to come, and I think let them come. It's how you deal with it, how you process that feeling, how you actually turn it around and do something with it is the important bit. So when you do feel that, what I do on a daily basis, and this is really, really powerful, if you're feeling that negative, who am I anyway to be doing this, or I'm not talented enough, I'm not creative enough, I'm not learned enough, I'm like all that stuff. And I know you get that as well. I think everybody does. And I'd love to hear in the comments how often you feel that. Is it a daily thing? Is it a weekly thing? Is it a yearly thing? Like what's the kind of the number on it for you? So when you do feel that feeling, I recommend these 4 things, right? The first thing is not to let it go, not to push it away, but to embrace it, to recognize it. Yeah, who am I anyway? Well, let's look at that actually. Who am I? and accept that that's a normal thing to feel when you are an entrepreneur, or when you are a business owner, or when you are a person that wants to make shit happen. It goes hand in hand. And no matter how far you get or on what part of your journey, you're going to feel that on a regular basis. And it's kind of a good indication that you have dreams, that you have visions, that you want to make something of what your creativity has given you, that you're not passively going through life letting other people decide that stuff. So in a weird way, it's kind of a good thing that you feel that, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, as the default, we shine the light on us, right? So that's the default, okay? So what I do is, the minute I feel that, oh, who am I? Oh God, this thing with them, I have to put together this presentation, Jeannie Mac, I hope they'll understand, blah, 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 blah. Hang on a second, who am I to do this? Okay, I want you to, instead of going deep into the me, I want you to turn that focus on your audience, on your customer, on the person that you're trying to help with what you do, on the customer that you're trying to enrich. Like, what is it that you're doing for that person? Focus on them. When you take away that focus from you and push it back onto who you're trying to help, it changes the way you process that feeling, because it's not about you. And I work really deeply on this in the foundation program when I work with creative business owners. We work really deeply on this, and it is so vital to the success of you as a person, as you as a creative mind, but also for your business in so many different facets. But for this particular subject matter, foundation syndrome, imposter syndrome, it's not about you. It is not about you. It is about your customers. It's about the people that you're serving. It's about the people you're helping. It's about the people that you are impacting. So the minute you get it, how's it going? Yeah, I know why you're here. Okay, I get it. But you know what? It's not about me. It's about them. So flip it back over and push it out. That's the second thing. I do that every day. Like when I get that feeling every day, and it stops it in my tracks. Like, it's not about me, for God's sake. It's about them. It's about you guys. It's not about, like, hello. It changes everything, gang. So I really want you to do that. Step one, accept it, acknowledge it. It's okay to feel that. That's the first thing. The second thing is flip it over, flip it back onto who you should be focusing on, and stop thinking about yourself, right? It's not about you. So that's the second one. And the third one, I want you to go back into some emails, some social comments, some conversations that you might have had with past clients. And I want you to pull the testimonials around what you do. I want you to focus on the good things that people are saying to you about your work and what you have brought to their lives. And I want you to pick 3 or 4 or 5 of them, write them down, and stick them up around your space, wherever you are, on the fridge at home, in your studio, on your computer, on your toothbrush, wherever you are regularly in your life. And if you suffer deeply from this narrative around not being good enough, again, flip it back over to the people that matter, and they're your customers, the people you're impacting, and pull that information that they've told you. Hey, you're making a fucking difference. I love what you do. You've enriched my home. You've brought happiness to my children. You have sorted this problem out for me. I feel fantastic after I engaged with what you do. You've changed my life. I've quit my 9-to-5 job because of what you do. All these things are important to remind yourself of these things, and not just but I'm not doing as well as she. I'm crap on Instagram. I'm not doing it. No, it's not about you. It's about the people. It's about what they're telling you. So remind yourself of this stuff and stick it up around your space, around your workspace, and your area. You need to do that to feed that confidence in what you do, because it's that impact that you're making. That's why you're doing what you do, right? So focus in on that. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing, and this is a really difficult thing because of social media, or because the world we live in, because information and other people's lives are so in our faces, right? But this is really important, because what tends to happen is you look at your competitors, and I don't even like calling people competitors, but you look at other people in your space, right? And because I think there's room for everybody, because there's the internet. Hooray! Anyway, that's another topic. But we tend to be divas for comparing with other people in our space. She has a better website. She looks so much better on camera than me. She can talk about this. She's got that gig. She's working with them. How come I'm not doing that? You know, she was invited to the Facebook group thing, and I have more members in my community than she does. How come? Like, hello? All this stuff, that you're looking out at the wrong people. You're looking at the people that are doing other things, when you should be focusing on what you do, and you do it really, really well. So the fourth bit of advice is put on biscuit blinkers and focus in on what you do, and you do it really, really well, and you focus on your audience, and you zone in on that relationship, and that's what you focus on, right? Not the other people, not the shiny people that are out there that are doing your head in, or that might be copying what you do. That's business, that's life. You know, put on the blinkers and focus in on your stuff. And there are my 4 tips for bashing imposter syndrome. Get out! Out! I'd love to hear your comments, gang. Thanks, Barry, for the reflex. Thanks, Emma. Just looking at, like, words always just disappear for me. because I'm thinking about other stuff like, oh, I hate that. You're like, oh, what's the word? What's the word? Thanks, gang. Karen Hickey says, working on a commission and really doubting my ability, but I'm turning off my negative self-talk and it's helping me to enjoy it and relax. Brilliant, Karen. That's it. Brilliant. Danielle said, this couldn't be more apt for me today. Been really struggling with this feeling this week, but I'm choosing to just chip away at my to-do list every day, regardless of how I'm feeling. I am capable. And you are very capable, Danielle Doody. You are very, very capable. And I think that's a great point, actually, Danielle, that you chip away at the list. So you know, you're in the factory, that we talk a lot about planning and making that list and knowing why you're doing what you do. But I know that we all have big dreams and visions for where we want to bring our businesses, right? And as I said from at the start of this live, it's that big thing that really creates that nearly anxiety around what we want to do. So in order to be productive and to get stuff done, you have to plan and you have to break down this thing to very basic actionable steps every week and every day. Otherwise, you're going to keep going like this and running around like a ping pong machine. Boing, social media, email, second networking events. Oh, blah. You know, it becomes manic when you do not plan something and write a list and have the right, today I'm doing 2 things. That's it. 2 things. I'll chip away, like Danielle said, and that's what I'll do. And that's really smart. Keep at it, Danielle. You're amazing. Okay. Teresa says, every day it's so strong and I often feel embarrassed for even trying, as in, who does she think she is? Yeah, Teresa, that's it, girl. But everyone gets that. Everybody gets that in different contexts and maybe different narrative, but that feeling is the same. Who does she think she is? Now, I want you to accept it, just like I said, accept it, but push it out. Think about your amazing photography and how that will impact the people that you work with. And what does that feel like for them? Look at the testimonials, look at the people that you've worked with, and zone in on that. Because when you're feeling like that, it stops you progressing, it stops you engaging in groups and asking for help, because who am I to ask for help? I'll try and figure it out all by myself, because yeah, let's just make it really, really hard, because it's supposed to be hard, isn't it? Not as hard as you think. Big learning in my career. Please ask for help. Help is there. There's the main Bite the Biscuit group. There's the Biscuit Factory group where help is our central point. Like, make sure you ask for help. Don't try and do this stuff by yourself, gang. It's just too much. Hey, Maria. Maria says, I feel it every day. I try to focus on the vision, goal, and remember that I'm not harming anybody by doing what I do, and I'm allowed to do it. I kind of give myself permission to do it and fail, learn, succeed. Absolutely. It's permission, definitely. And here's the thing. We all learn every day. We all make mistakes. We all have an idea and it fails. But what happens when you fail? You learn, right? And you pick yourself up and you go, okay, well, that didn't work. Well, how could I do it differently and try something else then? I think the important thing, though, Maria, is to get that support, to make sure that the learning from the mistake doesn't duplicate, right? That would be a good quote, wouldn't it? So the learning is documented and you apply it to the next project or the next idea. And a big thing for me is to test stuff. So always use your community, use your tribe, use your audience or people that get what you do, and test stuff before you launch stuff. And that's another conversation, but a very, very interesting point. Hey Patrick, how's it going? And Patrick says, recently I was at Digital Media Awards and I felt completely like I didn't belong there. Everyone was dressed up in fancy suits and dresses. Yuck. What's a suit? And many of the nominees had been there many times before. They were also relaxed, though maybe also hiding anxiety like me. And even though it was hard work, they got me nominated, part of a team that was nominated. I still felt like I was an imposter. Looking back, I realized that I belonged there just as much as anybody else in that room. I am not an imposter. If I change my view of myself, my world changes. At the end of the day, the customers were thrilled with their videos and they impacted people like you said. Thank you. Becken, see, I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps reading that, Patrick. Fair play to you. And you know what? It's at these events that really, I think everybody feels that though. I think it's those events, you know, the same people go every year, and a lot of people are so comfortable because they go to the same, it's like going on holidays to the same place. Like, you know, you go back to the same place. How are you, Joe? How are you, Mickey? Yeah, whoops. How are you? I'll have an ice cream. So, you know, my coffee, and people get so relaxed and familiar, because familiarity is so relaxing, isn't it? And it feels really good to be part of something. So you're right, Patrick. A lot of these people have been there. They know the people. They know where to sit. They know where the toilets are. They're not going into the wrong place. They're very familiar. And confidence comes with familiar. And I always say the more you do things, the more confident you get at doing things. Like for me, when I started doing live streams in the Biscuit Box every week at 11 o'clock, reminder, Jeannie Mac, like, oh, you know, you'd start live video, oh, okay, hi, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get at it, that's a really important thing for anyone trying new things. Like, that familiarity does help. But I love that you realized, of course, you belonged there. Why not? Like, you're just as good as everybody else in your field. And I think it is important not to have to wear a suit or a big frilly dress. You wear what you want. And it doesn't take away the fact that your talent is still recognized and that you deserve to be nominated. And fair play to you. And I'm delighted that you shared that, Patrick. Thank you so much. Please leave a link to your business. I'd love to dive in to see what you're at. Hey Daff, hey Melanie, how's it going? Hey Maeve. Namitha said, I love that there is room for everybody. Yes, well, I truly believe that. Community over competition is one of my sacred things. Okay. Oh, thanks, Namitha. Thank you so much. Paula, hey, Paula says, Danielle is extremely capable and so talented and gifted. Oh, yeah, she is. I'm rubbing my very soft hands using her hand cream here. Bonita says, oh gosh, so true, room for everyone, loads of coffee shops on the high street and every one of them is busy, along with hair salons. That's right, absolutely. And I came from a hospitality background. I used to run restaurants. My first few businesses were restaurants and coffee shops. And I was always shitting myself when a coffee shop opened up or a juice bar opened up near me, and you do, because oh god, they're going to take some of my customers, and yes, they do, and that's business, right? And whether you're online or offline. what's important is that you zone in on your audience, your customers, and you make sure you're serving them and that you're evolving your product and you're giving them that extra bit, like that bit that people love, which is you give a shit about them, you talk to them as human beings, and you listen. Listening is so important, gang. So when you do sell something or you are engaged with your audience, ask them questions, listen to their problems, because that will help you put together new offerings the next time you're putting a product or a service together, because you've listened and you've understood. Very powerful in business. Andrea says, hey, Andrea, she says, ironically, a midwife gave me great advice at the time of our first baby was born. No matter what you think, and if you feel you can't, you were made to do this. And literally, I try to apply this to so much. It goes for everyone, male and female, especially as a creative. Absolutely, absolutely. That's so true. And I think, Andrea, you've brought up a great point. Creative people are, it's in us, like, you know, and I talk to so many people about this, that the feedback is, but Tara, I have to create, because if I don't, I will get sick. Like, you know, I can't function. It's like that need to create, and it makes us happy, right? And if we're not doing it, we're feckin' miserable, right? And I think from a bigger picture of enabling creative people to be able to create on a daily basis, that's your full-time thing, and that you're making a living from it, what impact does that have on us, gang, on the world? Is a much happier place, because there's all these creative people that are happy, that are walking around bringing all this stuff to society. And I think that is, for me, the bigger vision thing. Like, it changes everything. And you're so right, Andrea. We have to do it. The challenge is we have to keep motivated. We have to keep focusing on our capabilities, and we have to learn how to make money from what we do, so we can do this all the time. I think that's a big chunk that's missing, that education and that support around the creative sector, for actually enabling creative people to continually create, and not to be working the crappy job that they feckin' hate and doing it as a hobby. No, let's switch that around. It should be the main job, right? So anyway, big vision there, Tara, no pressure. But like, oh, you know. Tony says, I always think that I'm my own competition, Tara, as in, as long as I'm doing my best every day that I can do for my clients, then it's job done. Absolutely. Well, that's it, Tony. And I think you're right. You have to do the best for your clients, for sure. You also have to know what your clients really need from you. And I think that's a big thing, is serving and asking the questions. But that's a great one, Tony. Hey, Jackie, how's it going? Helen says, thanks for this today. I need to remember I know my stuff well. Yes, you do. Ian says, self-doubt is such a big issue, not just for artists. Absolutely. And that's such a great point too, Ian. I remember possibly, it must be 6 months now. Note, I don't get out very often. It was around 6 months ago. Myself and my husband were invited to this dinner party thing, which doesn't happen that often, as I just mentioned. Plug, if anyone's having a dinner party, please invite me. I'm messing. Anyway, we have a small baby, so anyway, I blame him for everything. Anyway, we went to this dinner party, right? And my husband has a lot of connections in a big IT company and blah, 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 blah. And it was a work-related thing. And there was all these CEO-y people and, you know, very high-end in their field, very, very educated. Like there was 3 or 4 very high people in their businesses, blah, 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 whatever that means. Anyway, you know what I mean? Anyway, so little old me and Matt went along, happy out, sure, I was delighted. and went in, and of course I started the conversation around this topic because I'm really interested in, you know, the corporate thing, because I've never worked for corporate. I've never worked for anybody else but me, really. And so I'm always interested in that environment and how it is, you know, and the politics involved. Holy crap, like, it's a bit mad. Anyway, another topic. But what I found interesting after Ian's message there was that the people at the top of their game, the CEOs, the COOs, the CFOs, the fucking UFOs, okay, that was my seat, wherever the O is, right, or the C, or whatever it is, the common thread through everybody sitting at that table was self-doubt. Who am I to be doing this? And it was quite light in I wasn't a deep conversation about, I wasn't like that. It was very light and very open, actually. But every single person at that table went, Jeannie Mac, if only they knew, like, I love jelly beans and potato sandwiches, or who am I to be doing that? You know, in a light-hearted way. But every single person at that table commented on how they felt that imposter syndrome. Interesting, right? I think no matter where you are in your game, no matter how, and I think especially as you get bigger, especially as you go up that ladder, or you get more fame, or you ditch the 9 to 5 and you run your business solely, or wherever you are, it's always there. Like, always there. Like, you know, there are people that have figured this out, but they've worked hard at it. Daily practice. I choose. I accept it and flip it back. I remind myself of the impact I am having with my clients, with my customers, with my audience. I am enough, like, I am doing it, and I'll chip away, put on the blinkers, and focus in on what I do and why I'm doing this, and the impact that it will have on my audience, on my eyeballs that are engaging with me. And that is important to highlight. Thanks, Ian, and it's a great point. Katie says, hey Katie, she says, my art page name says it's all Katie Thesby reckons she's an artist, seriously struggling with it all. Well, I love that. Will you put a link into your page, please, Katie? I'd love to see what you do. And anyone else that wants to show off, please put a link into what you do, please, into the comments as well. I would love to dive in and have a look at who's on the live today. Okay, so that's me for today. I think this is an important topic. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for engaging with the live today. And it's something that we'll revisit, definitely. Okay, gang, thanks so much. Have a great week. I'll see you guys over in Bite the Biscuit. If you're not a member already, head over to Bite the Biscuit. I'll leave the link in the comments. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. Tell me about your stuff and how you feel about imposter syndrome, and I reply to every single comment. Okay, have a great week. Talk to you. Keep creative. Bye.